We got to work on just saying it in unison and like doing a whole.
No, now you want to do it.
Oh, when I
All
get
right.
that mic in my hand at the Roots picnic, I'm going to sing.
You should.
I am. I'm gonna
What are
bust
you gonna
out.
sing?
I live in the not the chicken.
Ah, that's my shit.
I say my name. I say it Yeah, that's how I'm come out.
Did you hear somebody sing that recently? Because I did. Because Tiana Major sang that at the concert.
She tried it.
No, she killed it. Like, how do you want? But she broke it down. How do you need it? How? You didn't hear it there? That's not how
Girl,
it
I
got
was
here?
late, okay? Do you want me to go into my updates or not?
Go ahead with your late ass. Had one job.
I have been out more than I have ever been out in 2 years, and it is a mix of just excitement and sheer
Despair.
fear. Because the way that affects that mixing and mingling and going out and talking is expensive. I said, I can't wait for it to be warm so we could just sit on a blanket in the park and drink bottled water.
That's expensive too.
Some Trader Joe's snacks.
Mm.
But it's been a very fruitful, busy, sociable weekend. I saw Jazmine in Philly, her hometown, this Saturday. Friday. I went with the girls and we went out. We got some drinks ahead of time. Saw Brittany. Saw people that we knew from high school there.
Were they going to the show?
No, they were just out doing a happy. Girl, I went to a happy hour, girl.
Oh wow!
And I said, "Wow, this is what the whites and the young blacks are doing these days." And I remember this time. And then we made it to the concert. We were late because we just underestimated the traffic in residential Fairmount, Philadelphia. But girl, the energy was palpable. The Philly natives were out in their best tight formed, high-heeled, large glasses.
They were wearing heels at the concert?
Yeah, they was out there giving it to them. I said, wow. Fucking royalty. Loved it. Wow. Guys had great energy, just singing a part. I said, this is very clear. This is very clear. It's very crisp. It's seamless. The background singers were seamless. I said, is this a track or is this in real life? Because I would never know. And it was a blast. And then the next day I went out with a friend and got wine at a wine bar. I said, I was like literally signing the bill and I was like, wow, this is really, I got to check my P&Ls because I may not be able to buy toilet paper now, but it was all worth it. And that felt really good. But I was tired. And I woke up on Sunday and I was just ugly. I just was so ugly. I was like, I'm going to take a shower. And you know how you take a shower and you think like, oh, and then I was still ugly. And I was just tired and I had things to do. And I could feel the sadness pulling me. And I could feel the anxiety of the week pulling me. And I said, no, I'm not going to let this happen. I put on as much makeup as I possibly could. I
cannot with you right now.
I did. I was like, I'm not letting this happen to me. And I felt much better. And I went out in the world and I was like, okay, can never look like myself. Just never go out into these streets looking like myself. You must always dress up, show up, fake it till you make it, because that shit really works. Or whatever Rihanna said. She had that interview that comes up on my Explore page very often. And I watch it every time. So that's where I'm at.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
you don't agree with that?
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ugly. You better throw on some concealer, bitch. You better put on some
if you're feeling ugly,
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't go outside looking like yourself. You gotta fake it. Don't go out there. So it's now Monday and I feel better and the uglies didn't pull me down. And hopefully I'm gonna keep the same energy until Friday, where I plan on not going out with anybody or spending any money until maybe June. How are you, Antoinette?
I'm well. I'm on the tail end of my cycle, so I'm between like great and like hating everybody and irritable. But I'm good. I also saw Jazz. I saw her in New York though. I saw her in Brooklyn, and I could walk to the show.
Oh,
That was the best part. I just toot walk. I got there very early. I
two
was
types of people in the world.
right up front. And then I moved back because COVID. And I was shocked at looking at the thousands of black folks gathered without masks on. I said, wow, this is crazy. But I kept mine on, especially since her manager was paying attention and she was not gonna let my little raggedy ass come backstage. And then I would like to have a PSA to all people that work at theaters or venues. Just be nice. This older woman, I felt badly for her because she was older and I know her feet hurt and there was no chair and she wanted to go home. But I went over there and I showed my backstage pass and she was like, "Ain't nobody getting back here." And I was like, okay. And so then I sat there with two young ladies who were very nice. They were obsessed with Jazmine, hoping she was going to come out that way. And I was like, there's no way in hell she's coming out the front of the house. Like, that's not how it works. And they were like, we just want to meet her. I was like, it's COVID, sweetie. But this lady repeated herself and put a curse word on it and said, I said what I said to me. And I stood there and she said, who are you even trying to see? And I said, the headliner, miss. And she said, fans and all this stuff. I said, I just showed you I have a backstage pass. And she was giving me hell. And I said, ma'am, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stand right here. I'll call her manager. And she was really eating my little butt up, tearing me up. And then her manager came to get me. And I looked at her and I said, you have a great day. And I hope you rushed your feet. And I just walked away. But I kind of sunned her because she knew what I was saying. Like, what is your fucking problem? Also, I'm sorry that you're this age still having to work. You should be retired to have somebody take care of you. She was old.
That shade. That was a high shade. That was a palm tree
Oh
shade.
no, it was like the way have a
Okay,
good day.
hygiene.
I gave her have a good day was like
You're
have the day you
not having
deserve,
retirement
bitch.
ass. Oh,
It was that like you're angry, and it's not my fault, but I also get why you're angry. But with all that said, I have to be honest, I really couldn't even enjoy the show because I was clutching my pearls. I was so scared for her because I just know how vocally demanding the set is. I know she's not all the way well from COVID. She was very vocal about that during the day. She was trying to get up earlier. Then she was like, no, I need to rest my voice. It's not feeling good. And it just had me so nervous. But she was incredible. She made such great vocal choices, things that I know she wouldn't have done, but I feel like COVID has really forced her to expand and to make she never sings the same thing ever, but usually it's similar. It's in the theme of things. This top register that she has developed is just wild to me. You weren't in choir with us when we would make fun of her because she couldn't get past a certain note. We'd be like, you really a fucking baritone tenor, bitch. Like, you can't. She would just sound like a man, a beautiful man. And now, baby, I mean, it's incredible to hear what she's doing. And then to see her so confident on stage.
And playful.
Playful. She's having fun. She's definitely she's in this era. I think you said it where it was like, do you know the fuck I am kind of thing. But it's not in a way where you're put off by it. It's still like you're rooting for her and it's inviting.
And you're like, yeah, bitch, we see it. We see it, girl. All her fans have that same energy of like, do you know who the fuck she is? And now everybody on it. Everybody's like, yeah, she been that.
But
So
it was
shout
really
out to
incredible.
J-Dub. Get a girl. Go
Really
ahead.
incredible. And then I was just so happy to see her. It was funny. As soon as I saw her, the first shit thing she didn't even say nothing. I tried to talk about the show, how good it was. She was like, "Oh yeah, are you free this weekend? Because we got to celebrate the birthdays." And we were into like planning mode, and it was just like as if she didn't just kill it. It was that girl was weird, but I definitely shed a couple tears on the
Yeah.
way home. I definitely like sat back and was just so proud. I was like, I'm so proud of her. I too have been hanging, but I've been
Hanging
hanging
with the
on
friends.
weekdays. Yes, like
Oh,
late.
now weekdays. That is
I've been
called,
outside
you're a
on
teenager.
weekdays, like a
Wow.
Sunday, like a Thursday, Friday. I have been outside and not outside like, oh, we're gonna go out real quick, like hanging till 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and one day hit a 6 in the morning. And when I tell you, I just finished work around 6:30 today and napped until 8:10, till right before we had to record this because I am not only ugly, but also bloated, also backed up and exhausted.
Let me
And
find
I
out
did
your
this on
makes
my
you
menstrual
ugly.
cycle. I can't
Wow.
function right now. I said, wow. And then I had my friend hit me today and be like, yo, what you doing? I said, no, no, no. I got to stop this. I
Hanging out
have
with
to put an
friends.
end to
It be
this.
the friends, child.
It's them because, and it's a good thing because I've been isolated for too long, but woo, Nelly, can't do it. The other thing is today, I don't know what came over me, but I had a career planning check-in with
Oh,
not my boss, my boss's boss. And they're checking in because I think I've said this, that like I want a new account, lots of change has happened. I'm reporting to someone new, et cetera, et cetera. So we had this check-in and he was asking me how things are going. And I was cool with that, you know. And then he was like, I don't know much about what you want to do
mm.
and how can I support you in that? Like, what roles do you see yourself in? And then he said, within the company, maybe outside of the company, like, and girl, when I sat back, when I started talking, I was like, oh, shut up. I said to this VP level human, I said, I need to be very clear that I have no desire in climbing up the ranks in this company. I
Oh,
said, my biggest desire is to get one more promotion, but that is because I feel like I can do, not easily, but I can do the work. I would like the pay increase that comes with that, but I am not gunning for a VP level position here or anything like that. I said, this company has offered me a great freedom. It's one of the best places I've worked. The people are emotionally intelligent. It feels like a safe space, but it also feels like a way for me to actually figure out what I want to do with my life, where I want to be. I
you
said my
tell the
ult
truth.
I said my
Nigga,
ultimate
what?
goal is to not need to work here and to be able to have passive income so that I can travel, so that maybe I can get back into performing, so that I can just do what I want to do. I have things outside of here that I would like to grow that cost money. So really this is a means for me to pursue what, what my actual desires are. I said I don't feel like I was born to come and work here. I am very happy that I landed here and I will continue to put my best foot forward and grow the company. I said, but I see I see what is required of folks who get past the one little bump that I'm at, and I have no interest in that.
What did he
And
say?
he sat there and he said, I have to say, I have never heard quite such an honest answer. And he said, and I frankly fucking love it. And he said, what projects? He just went on like, what projects do you want to do? I was like, I don't want to do more.
Nigga, who is coming to your house at 9/11? Are you okay? Because you are on a recorded video in this moment. I'm concerned.
And me too, because I don't know who that is.
Well, you ain't answering the phone.
I ain't answering that door. Um, that just made my heart flutter. I need a gun or a knife, but I don't need a gun. I do need a knife because I realized I just got a kitchen knife. Wow, this is happening in real time, everyone. Can you write this time down so we can edit?
You better go down the stairs. Where you going?
Hello? Hello?
Mm-mm.
Hold up. Hey. Gotcha.
She's speaking Spanish now. And I won't take that no more. Who was that?
Everything is okay. Everything is okay. That was the man that lives on my floor, would just be nosy, and he saw some packages for me and decided to bring them up. He's just one of them people. Saw these. These are for you. Okay. Well, thank you. Gracias. Anyway, that was nice, but he's also just that guy. Try not to leave packages in the package room for too long. They'll get stolen, sweetie. Child, I'm grown, and they just got there today because I got the Amazon automated email. Anyway, but yeah, he was happy that I was honest, and I think that it was refreshing. And he's like, okay, we're going to get you into more digital projects so that I can hopefully learn some shit for us. But yeah, I was shocked that I said that, but I really meant it. It hit me in that moment of like, I don't want to climb up this ladder, but one more little notch, and then I just want to coast until I get enough money to buy a house and rent that shit out.
Shout out to speaking into it, because you know what, Antoinette, had you had gone up there and lied to that man, you would have fucked up the manifestation spell that you had cast by speaking the truth. You would have made it all fucked up, jumbled. The universe would have got confused, which is so weird to me that people say that, because like the universe is like this ditzy thing that just can't figure anything out apparently. Like, you're confusing the universe. Anyway, sorry, but you did the right thing. Shout out to speaking truth to power. That's the way to do it. Not lying. That was a spell you cast. Oh.
I hope so. We'll see. Or he's gonna be like, this bitch has to go. She's
which is going to accelerate it even more quickly, girl.
Yeah, all right. You better pay my bills.
Well.
Quiet. But I would not recommend that for everyone. You have to know the company that you work at. Oh, and shout out to Armani White. I'm wearing his hoodie right now.
I saw him at the show.
You did?
Yeah.
Was that the first time y'all met?
In person.
In person?
Yeah.
Oh, how's he doing? Armani White is a recording artist.
I didn't stop and speak to him. I should have stopped and I'm going to DM him. I didn't like chop it up because we had just walked into the place. And Amanda and Kayla were leading the way, and I saw him. We connected. I said hi, but I didn't like go up to him and say like, "How's the show? She's amazing, right? You having fun, right?" Because that's what I would have done, and I didn't do that.
You are the worst. He hit me and was like, "Are you gonna be at the Philly show?" And I was like, "Nah, I'll be at the Brooklyn one." I should have come to Philly, but
then while we were late and walking, I
would have had a whole heart attack,
y'all.
Because the first thing I would have said to y'all was, we're not driving there. We're taking an Uber.
And then Amanda going to say, I know, that's what I thought. And I'm like, why didn't you say that?
Why didn't you say that? See, y'all irritated. I'm glad I went. I was up close. I could see that girl tonsils. Nope.
Did she see you? Did she smile at you?
At the very end, she saw me and went, at the very end. It was like during the encore. But I wasn't even moving. I was just sitting there like this, holding my chest. Like I was freaking, I was terrified. I don't know why. I really thought about it. I don't know. You know what I kept thinking about this text that she sent me during, I don't know, she was at Irving Plaza in New York. And for whatever reason, I didn't realize, but apparently she was having a hard show. Nobody knew. But she texted me afterwards, and it was like a picture of us after the show, and she just said, "I know if I was ever gonna fall off that stage or fuck up, you was gonna be the person that caught me."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just that meant so much to me, and so I think I feel like a mom too, watching her on stage and be like, okay, here's the big part. Hold the note, get through, yes, okay, next song. Like I knew the set list, like I had seen
Insane
rehearsal.
person, Antoinette. You're
I'm
also
not well. I'm
not
not like
well in the
don't
best
let my
ways.
kid do anything like that. Her mom doesn't go. You know that, right?
Because it stresses her out too much.
I asked her because I was telling her that I was really stressed out, and I was showing her my heart rate during the show because I have this fucking Apple Watch and you can see when it goes up and down. And she said, "You are Pam," and I said, "Oh my God, how do you feel about singing these songs in front of her?" And she goes, "Girl, she ain't coming to that. She can't take it. She can't take watching me perform. It stresses her out."
Oh, I
So
would
she
be
just be like,
bawling.
"I
I
will
would
go."
literally be dying if I saw Joe. I would go and I would just cry.
I know. Like imagine that's your being
I
that
would
you
be so
birth.
excited though. I would just be like, I can't look at her.
It's
Look at her.
excitement, but it's teared as well. It's very weird. But anyway, hot
Speaking of
shit.
excitement, I'm really excited for the third season of Atlanta coming out. Is it the third
Last
season?
season.
The
Hmm.
last season?
Yeah, they
It was
announced
the
that.
last season?
Yeah, girl, they announced that. I
Oh,
think so, yeah.
that makes me sad. Anyway, it's coming out on March 24th. I am super excited for this. I can't wait to see all of the characters. Zazie Beetz is the love of my life, and I can't wait to see what happens. I'm totally invested in their greatness and the glow up. And this season is supposed to be magnificent and spectacular and very, very strange. So shout out to that. I definitely want to talk about that. And then, speaking of blowing up and glowing up, I want to shout out Aleem Smith. I know him from the Philly little circuit. He has been an aspiring artist for a very long time. He has a very distinct style. Many of you have probably seen his work through memes, but he was actually the artist responsible for the new promo images for Atlanta. So shout out to him. He goes by Yesterday Night. Listen, if I could buy somebody's artwork, I probably would grab an original by him because I think he's going to go far. He's super talented and he's also an amazing writer as well. So if you go on his Instagram, which is Yesterday Night, NITE, you'll just get captivated and just deeply like touched by his really thoughtful captions that he puts under a lot of his artwork. So
The first
shout
one
out
I
to him.
went to was Soldier Boy, and all it says is Drake.
He does.
As you're like these deeply thoughtful captions.
He does the popular memes. He like does the popular memes in his style. So there's like
Oh, I know
niggas
his
from The
work.
Wire. There's you'll see if you see it, you'll be like, oh, I saw him. But that's the homie.
I know his work,
He's
yeah.
from Delaware, but he lived in Philly for a while. And he's just been just following his artwork. I'm following his passion for a long time. So he's somebody to look out for. Hold him up. Big him up. Also, big us up, niggas, because we are going to be at the Roots Picnic this year for June 4th and June 5th. For those of you who don't know, the Roots Picnic is an annual music festival created by Philly's finest, the Roots. Every year they hold a wonderful music festival, and this year they have a podcast, what do you call that? Stage. And we're going to be on it among some other folks, such as Horrible Decisions and what are their names, Antoinette? Rory and Mal. Mal?
Child, I'm not saying that. I'm gonna let you cook. Who else, girl? Who else is on there?
The music lineup is going to be super dope. We'll have SWV, Kamasi Washington, WizKid, Mary J. motherfucking Blige with the Roots,
That's
the
out
one and
there,
only
Wizkid.
Jazmine Sullivan will be there. Kirk Franklin. Are you serious? Yeba. I can't wait to see that singing ass white lady.
Yeba?
So it's
What'd
going
you
to be a
call her?
lot of fun. You should come see us. We'll be on the Saturday, so that would be the 4th. But the whole entire lineup is super dope. So tickets are available now at rootspicnic.com. All right.
That was a good Joski.
Antoinette, did you watch Maury Povich growing up?
I did not. My dad said that it was trash, but I used to sneak it on days when I was sick from school. But he was like, "You cannot watch this," and then he ended up watching it. But he did not allow us to watch that. But I know what it is. You are the father.
Jenny
You are not.
Jones.
Jenny Jones was incredible, and my girl was Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake.
That's my boo. I love me Ricky.
She would mix in like wholesome and
She would mix it.
shit with some real raggedy shit. Real top notch. But after 3 decades of just helping children find out their lineage and legacy, reforming children from bad behavior. Did he do the makeovers? Who did the best makeovers? Was that Jenny Jones who had the bomb ass makeover?
No, I think Ricky Lake had the best makeovers.
Oh, I love the makeover. Anyway,
Ricky
Maury's
Lake
gone,
used to kill
so that's the end of
He's
the era.
not dead.
I mean, the show is ended. He looks
It
good.
needs to
By
end.
the way, Maury's another white man that could get it. I said, Maury, that jawline, that hair, that full head of hair, brother, those squared shoulders, that posture.
You are very tricky
cooled, and
with who you like.
The way that he carries the demeanor of all the chaos and holds space, I said, Maury.
Of all the white men, you're a very interesting woman.
Would you have sex with Maury or Jerry Springer?
Girl, I would definitely have sex with Maury over Jerry Springer, but that's a terrible choice. Maury? Who is looking at Maury and wanting to pop? That's gross. Ew. I would have sex with Dave Letterman before all of them, because that's my boo. Do you know who David Letterman is?
Yeah.
No, you don't, because I see you Googling it. I just saw the screen come up on your face.
He got the long
I just saw it.
Oh, no.
That is my babe. Oh, bearded David Letterman all day.
I said, God, is that you?
Listen.
You look like the white God.
I would answer to him about my sins. It's like, come here, boo. So Maury, not so much, but Dave, yes. Because Dave was still putting it down. He had like a kid at 60.
He does
so
look
shout
good.
out to him.
Shout out to Dave. He's a little bit too dry for me, but yeah.
Oh, he's so dry. I love it.
I can get it.
I can wet him up. Anyway, keep going. Wendy Williams.
Now, did you listen to Wendy Williams in high school when she was on?
Of course.
Wendy, y'all can say what you want about Wendy. We haven't talked about Wendy a lot on Around the League Curls, but Wendy, I hold very close to my heart. I think she is a master at what she does.
We grew up with her.
I've laughed and just been very entertained by her. I don't watch her show, but she still holds a solid place in my heart due to her radio career. Now, Wendy is being accused by folks, and it's gone public due to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has denied her access to her account, saying that she's lost her mind. She's been off her show for months and months now, and she's finally come out saying that she said health is very well, and I've actually had a few appointments. You know, I'm 57 now, and I've got the mind and body of a 25-year-old. She was not actually seen on this interview. She would not let anybody see her face. And the way the cadence is giving me like Donald Trump. Like, health is very well. It's giving me like, that makes me really sad, because you think how hard this woman has worked You think about all the shit that she has gone through, and now she is being denied the luxury of really, if she has is losing her mind, if she's having health issues that have deteriorated her ability, her cognitive ability, that makes me so sad, because I know she's worked like a horse. I know she's sacrificed so much. She's talked about it. She's been one-pointed about her career. And it feels like she can't even enjoy it. It feels like a sick, sad joke that like one of those memes where you like work really, really hard and then you die, because that's not the point of life.
I hopped off the bandwagon when she when I got some sense, but when she started the show, because I really hated the show. It just wasn't something I could sit through. The radio show Wendy was different, but also we were different. We were coming up. The radio was everything. Gossip was real. That's how you got your music. That's how you got your culture. That's how you found out about yada bang bang whatever. But I have to say, it's something tricky. Not tricky, but it's something a little. I am not surprised that she's having a hard time in life near the end of her life. And I hope that we don't sit on this podcast and act like Wendy Williams. Because yes, she worked hard, but she made a living off of kind of just spilling everybody's like awful business that they probably wanted to keep really private. And then when she went through it herself, you know, it got tricky. It was like, ooh, is this karma? Is this karma?
Is that what you're insinuating, that she deserves?
No, I'm not. I don't think anybody deserves to lose their mind. It's really sad. I'm just saying that it's tricky. And Wendy has been tricky. Wendy has definitely succeeded. And it's a weird relationship we have. Because again, it's nostalgia. We grew up. This woman like got us ready in the morning as we got ready for school. But boy, was she an awful person for a while. She really was. She really was awful. She could have moved differently. And it's hard to do what she does and not be awful. It's hard to just talk about people's business.
She's a master of gossip.
I know, but like
she's a master at it. She wasn't lying. Lots of shit she wasn't lying. She was just telling people's business, or she was spreading. But
sometimes it was opinions.
The rumor. It was
right.
Rumors. Maybe it wasn't.
That was where I got like, if you're just talking about the facts and this is what happened and this is my thought on it. Sometimes she would interpret things and say what she thought it was and insinuate people were on drugs, insinuate this, insinuate that. And it was like,
Whitney
that's
Houston and Wendy Williams.
Not Whitney. I still listen to that interview where Whitney was tearing her little ass up. Whitney was high as a kite. But she was tearing Wendy up, and Wendy knew it, and Wendy was like, keep going. This is going to go down in history.
If y'all have never heard that, please Google Wendy Williams.
It is
and Whitney
definitely
Houston.
Online.
Regardless of what she was, regardless of the moral, how the ethics of her work, she had a crazy work ethic, and it just makes me really sad that she worked that hard. If this is true, for it to just go through her hands.
Oh yeah, it's sad.
And I just want to. She still deserves kindness and compassion and healing energy, love and light to you.
We praying for Wendy.
Wendy motherfucking.
But what do you mean they're denying her access? I heard this too, and I was just like, is it kind of like a Britney situation where somebody has to...
Where they're saying that she needs what's that called?
Like a representative or a conservator. Okay.
That she needs which is a very strong statement for a bank to make. Because banks are really like, by the books, and I think they protect their customers, especially customers with a lot of wealth. I would think they look out for them. So for them to say this, and like, I don't know what their skin in the fight would be for her to not have access to her.
Well, then they would have the money in the bank.
Because she's like just taking out hundreds of $1,000s.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't even know why they did it, but Pray for Wendy.
Shout out to Wendy. We are thinking and praying for you. Also, we need to extend prayers to Brittany Griner. She is in detention by Russia. They have extended the detention to May now. So I think
nobody even knows what that means.
What you mean? They're like, we ain't even considering letting her out until May.
I know, but like, where's the trial? Like, does that mean that then she has a trial? Does that mean then you're going to bring her back to the United States? What does it mean?
I don't know. She's detained till May. But I'm seeing that people are, sharing it more. I'm seeing it a lot more. So I think it's just would bring more awareness to it. So, child, hopefully that accelerates and doesn't cause more issue to her getting out. Speaking of getting out, I don't know if this is true or not. Did Jussie get out?
Yeah, girl. Juicy is out, baby. They marched for him. They marched and they got him out, child. Juicy is out. Shout out to Juicy.
How? What? How did he get out?
A judge said he could get out. They said, all right, well, you can serve your time at home because you can sing.
That's crazy to me.
I know. I mean, everybody's thing was that the crime did not fit. The punishment did not fit the crime. Okay.
So people
rallied. Taraji wrote a post.
Who did?
Taraji P. Henson wrote a post. Mama Tina wrote a post, and they all were like, regardless of if you think he's guilty or not, the crime does not fit the punishment. And it was like, oh, okay. Child. Not justice for Juicy again.
Well, good for him. He's really activating the people. So shout out to him. He's
activating
the people. He is activating change. He is putting spells on people and bringing. He's activating.
What change did Juicy activate?
He got his ass out of jail. He got himself out of jail. He had 160 days or some shit. That nigga went down to 3 days. He's free. Like, that's powerful. He's powerful.
He's not free. He's on parole. I think he's on house arrest too.
Shout out to him. Shout out to you, Juicy Justin.
I think my frustration is that if that was me or you, our raggedy asses would still be locked up.
Of course. I mean, of course. But he got the power.
I really want to see what happens with him. Like, I want to know. Like, do you get acting gigs now? Like, what happens? Do you get a regular job? Like, what? How do you move forward?
I think you should start a career in activism. I think you should pursue activism. And
why do you think that?
Because
that just irritated me.
He's on a roll. I think that should be. He's powerful and capable. He's learning the justice system. He needs
Shanti, are you playing? Or are you serious? I can't tell. He cannot, no. Sir, not until you take accountability and tell us what really happened and stop playing.
He did, and you don't believe him. And that's where he has to do some unworking and unlearning of the masses to free their minds and listen to a light-skinned black man when he says he didn't do it.
Is he mixed? I think they're mixed, too.
Yeah, he is. On top, child.
Representing us terribly.
We need to do a whole episode about biracial men. What's
biracial? They tricky. You could have just been biracial and just been about the people. You had to. You had. I feel like this was all a quest to like really be accepted by the community and be like, all right, y'all gonna accept me so much that I'm gonna become a martyr.
You think it's the biracial angst? That's where it's seated in?
It could have been. I really believe that it really could have been like, I want to be a representative of this community.
He wanted to be really Jesse Williams.
Part of this community.
Jesse wants to be Jesse. Is that his name? Jesse Williams?
No.
What's his name?
Who is Jesse Williams? Google that. Google Jesse Williams. I love you
that
so
cute.
Much. He is so cute. What is wrong with you? Now, what's
he's
Juicy's
too light
thing?
skin. That's not my thing. It
No,
doesn't
your
do.
thing is Maury Povich. Make it make sense.
Who's
Get
Jesse
out of here.
Williams? Yes, it is Jesse
No,
Williams. That's his name.
Jesse
I'm right.
Williams is not Juicy.
I said he's trying. Juicy is trying to be Jesse.
Oh, I thought you said, oh, that's Jesse Williams. That's his name, like Juicy is
Mm-mm.
Jesse Williams. I'm like, did you think Juicy was Jesse this whole time? Racist.
Mm-mm. No, that's
I think
the
he was.
biracial
You're
man for
right.
the people.
There you go. There it
Fuck
is.
Jesse. I
We
know.
actually solved the crime. We actually solved it. It was biracial angst. God damn it.
Like people,
The lengths people will go to be accepted.
shout out to biracial men. It's a hard journey to be a biracial black man in
Because it's
America.
tricky. Y'all come out
Y'all
tricky.
idol is Drake, and that's hard. That's a really strange archetype. But here we
Don't
are.
get me started on Drake. You already know. Drake! Don't do it. Shout out to Aubrey.
Well, I know we're saying we're going to be outside. I know we're excited for all the things to come, but apparently Fauci, as well as doctors and medical experts in the UK, are saying that America has a surge coming due to the waning of immunity from vaccines, as well as the dropping of mask restrictions. There's BA.2 Omicron, B2K Omicron is
That's
coming.
what I heard. I said,
It's
what?
coming for our asses. And the UK is experiencing surges, and they are our forecast for what we are going to expect. So that makes me so upset. But
What is the B2K Omarion variant is what variant? Is it killing people? Is
apparently it's highly transmissible, but
Mhm.
has it is far more, it puts you down similar to like Delta. That's what I
Oh
heard.
shit, Delta.
So you gotta get your boosters,
Uh-uh.
is what the word on the street is you get your boosters, then you have another 3 months until
You gonna get your booster?
girl, booster seat, girl.
A booster
Vroom,
seat. Girl, bye. How dare you get on this podcast
Boost.
and tell people you gotta get
That's
your
what
booster?
I said that's what the authorities are saying. The experts are saying you should get your booster to avoid further complications, especially if you just got the first 2 shots, because
Well, you gotta come up here.
they are waning.
You gotta come up here sooner rather than later so you can actually eat indoors because they gonna shut it down again. Be like, nope, can't come in. And then it's just gonna get tricky.
I'm gonna skip that because that's gonna cause us to fight. So you go ahead and
What's gonna cause us to fight? Come on, let's fight. It's been a mellow
Ukrainian
podcast.
President Volodymyr Zelensky urged Israel.
Don't be racist. You ain't have to
That's
say
how
it.
you say his name. Let me hear you say his name and how I say it. I
Vladimir
said it
Zelensky.
correctly. Say his name.
Volodymyr Zelensky.
That's
but
how I
you
said
put
it.
an accent
Volodymyr
on it.
Zelensky. If you say Maria, you can say with an accent.
Now I'm gonna just roll my R, but go ahead.
Has urged Israel to do more to help Ukraine during a speech on Sunday. He is voicing his impatience with Israel and asking them to help Ukraine with weapons, as well as to impose sanctions on Russia. And he went on to say, or insinuate, he didn't say it directly, but he went on to insinuate that Russia to Ukraine is similar to what the Jews experienced in the Holocaust. And Israel was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But also, I just think it's really interesting that he would tell Israel that what Russia's doing in Ukraine is like the Holocaust, when it's more like what Israel's doing to Palestine. So I thought that was
Why would
really,
you think we would argue over that?
I don't know. I just thought that was really, really wonky. But I am completely confused and put through a loop, and I can't understand why Israel hasn't imposed sanctions on Russia. Of all the places, why they are slow to draw the gun? That has really,
You know what? I don't know. I don't know that answer either. I
that's
think that's something
really
for us to look at.
wild to me.
Have we Googled it?
I mean, this was on Sunday that I saw that. I'm just like, yo, that
So
really,
what you
I was
say?
like,
You didn't Google it?
it
Because
was
if
on
it's really
Sunday that
that
I
wild,
saw.
I'm
I
sure we
haven't
could find an
Googled it
answer.
since today, but I
Oh.
mean, he wouldn't have made this speech if they didn't,
No, no, no. I'm
if what he was
saying, do
saying.
we know why they haven't imposed sanctions
Oh,
yet?
no, I think
I'm
that's a
sure there's an
lie.
answer to
Of
that.
course there is, but Israel,
No,
wow.
I'm in complete alignment. I also think, whenever somebody brings up the Holocaust, it gets tricky because we start to play like the pain Olympics and
Oh,
like the struggle Olympics. And we're like, your struggle was not as hard as ours, and this many people died. It's not the same. And so you just can't bring up the Holocaust because the sheer numbers, people just feel like you can't touch that. And it's Jewish folks, and you can't say nothing about Jewish
but
folks.
that's also really the worst comparison. The closest
I
comparison
know the
is what
closest comparison is what Israel's doing. But
Israel's
also,
like, no, it's
he,
not. It's like what we're doing to Palestine, you fucking idiot. It's nothing like the
but he
Holocaust.
can't he can't bring that up because he wants help from them. Obviously, I feel like Volodymyr gets it. I think he knows that, but he's just trying to live because
He's
he
just
knows
trying
he's
to he's
targeting.
throwing out anything. He's like, this is like the Holocaust. They're like,
Well, another thing is that Russia has now started to bomb Mariupol and Kiev every 20 minutes. They're just dropping fucking bombs, and they're dropping them anywhere. It's like war crimes all over the place. They're just dropping them on schools now. But Zelensky has now said that he is interested in having talks with Putin to try to put an end to this. He's like, okay, we need to negotiate, and like I don't feel like sending my people. You send your people, like you and me, let's talk. Um, and that's good and that's really scary at the same time. The fact that he's open to it, but it's terrifying because if those talks don't go well, I mean, Zelensky literally said, then this is World War III. Like, there's no way around it. If we don't
yep.
find a solution, this is World War III. So
Why?
buckle up.
Because he's gonna get because the West is gonna get involved. Because
You're
isn't
gonna have
Russia
to.
has asked China for weapons now? Russia is apparently like, yo,
Yeah,
China, what's
of
up with
course.
them AKs?
I mean, China has denied providing them with weapons, but they I'm sorry, could you hear that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, my
What
phone,
happened?
my FaceTime rang on my computer. China has denied getting them weapons, but they also are basically funding the war because they still buy their their economy is so entrenched in like Russian shit. And so is the UK. I mean, not the UK, the European countries. They get so much stuff from China. So it's really tricky. I mean, not from
It's
China,
tricky.
well, everybody gets stuff from China, but from Russia. It's really tricky, but I don't know if these talks are going to happen, but I just don't. I think that Putin, what he wants, he can't, he cannot, they have to give him an out. There has to be something laid out. Like, here's your out. Here's how you don't look like a fool. Like you just wasted time and money and lives. He has to look like a winner in order to stop. So they have to give something to him. And Zelensky just doesn't sound like he's willing to give the things to Putin that Putin really wants. And so they're just at this stalemate. The other thing, too, is that, did it just escape me? It did.
You took edible, girl?
No, I didn't. I wish. I forgot that fast. Anyway.
Well,
I'm sorry. The other
there it is.
thing,
Come
too,
go.
was that what I didn't realize, because part of the confusion or part of what makes this really tricky is that when the U.S. and NATO and the West, quote unquote, convinced Ukraine to give up their weapons, right? Their weapons of mass destruction, their nukes. there was a promise that the U.S. would protect them, but there was also a promise from Russia that they would not attack them and that they would recognize them as a sovereign country. And so Zelensky is like, what are you offering us? Because you said that you wouldn't do exactly what you're doing, and now you're doing it. So even if we shake and agree, so Zelensky in his mind is like, you really just want to exterminate us. And that's where the comparisons between the Holocaust and that come from, because he's just like, you want to exterminate us because you're not recognizing us as a sovereign country. You've blown everything the fuck up. We have nothing. You've already promised that you wouldn't do this, and now you're saying your demands are that we turn the country basically over to you. So, and understand that we are not really Ukrainians, we're Russians. So where do we fit into this? So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But in other news, Women's History Month that we never talked about. Today was an historic day, rather. It is Monday while we're recording, and Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, her confirmation hearings have started to be the next Supreme Court justice. She will be the first Black woman ever appointed. She is a Harvard grad. She was a Supreme Court clerk for the justice that she would be replacing, Justice Breyer. And she was also a federal judge. She has family on both sides of the judicial system. So her brother is actually in law enforcement, while her uncle is serving a life sentence for a cocaine conviction. This has spawned her to be very dedicated to fighting for equitable drug penalties, especially what she says is, obviously crack versus cocaine. That is the most egregious, non-equitable. So she's spoken out quite a bit about that, and done a lot of work to try to amend those laws. She's also worked to improve the system as a public defender, which the Supreme Court, I didn't realize, didn't have many public defenders. I think the last one was, I am raggedy. Who's a Black? Thurgood Marshall.
Oh.
I think. Don't quote me on that. Look that up. But she has also represented people detained at Guantanamo Bay.
Wow.
And feels, and that's where they're going to, the Republicans are really going to get at her, because they like to say, and you represented terrorists. And she's like, I represented all people because I feel like the cornerstone of our democracy is that all people deserve legal representation. Yes. And she's not going to go as far to say that was unjust that you guys were jailing these people at Guantanamo Bay. She's not going to do all that, because that will stir the pot a little too much. But we can tell that that's in her. I listened to her talk today. The hearings are going to last a couple days. I'm very curious to hear how folks word their questions. But I've looked up even some of her rulings. Her rulings are very lengthy. She likes to talk, and she likes to explain very thoroughly how she came to the conclusion that she did. She is someone who will rule and will say that she does not agree with this law, but this is the law, and then will go and try to find ways to make amendments to the laws. But she will enforce the law.
Lift her up. Yes.
So I'm really excited about her. I think that she's going to make it through easily. I still don't believe the Supreme Court justice appointment should be a lifetime appointment. I also feel that the public should vote on them instead of just, Congress. But, hey, here we go. I'm really excited. She was on the short list for Obama as well, but he got his Supreme Court justices stolen from him by the devil. And so, yeah, I think this is something to really pay attention to and to really be proud of.
Yes.
And I was sitting there today and she said something in her speech. And she said that, basically that I'm paraphrasing, but it was that this country is by no means perfect at all. That we have a long way to go. But she said we've also come a really long way and we are the greatest form of democracy within this world, and she doesn't take it for granted, and she's honored to continue to try to build upon that system. And that doesn't resonate with some people, I'm sure, but that resonated with me, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be jailed in Russia. I'd rather be jailed probably here and hopefully get a public defender because I'm broke. Not a perfect system at all, but I don't want to be over in Russia either. So hopefully she can do great work. I think that she's going to be a voice on that court where she will ask the court to hear more cases than what they're used to. A lot of cases they'll send back down to the state, but I think she's going to come in and shake things up. And it's a really important perspective to have, especially that public defender life experience. So yeah, shout out to her. And she also started her speech by pronouncing her name correctly and explaining to Congress what her African name meant with such pride. And I was like, hell.
What does her name mean? Did you remember?
I forgot. I think it meant like something about like good child or like just goodness, some shit like that. I can't even remember.
Yes.
But shout out to her.
That's exciting. Shout out to her.
Yes.
Shout out to the significance of that. Shout out to Women's History Month. Shout out to little brown kids seeing that shit. So I'm going to talk about it tomorrow with JoJo.
Oh, good. We do have a voicemail. I can definitely play that. It's a two-parter because this got cut off. Just as a gentle reminder, the voicemails, kings and queens, they give you a good 3 minutes. And after that, they feel like, you know what? If you didn't get it out in 3 minutes, we don't know what to tell you, and they cut you off. But if you want to leave us a voicemail, please call us at 215-948-2780. That is 215-948-2780. And here we go.
Hey, Shanti and Antoinette. I am sitting in my car right now, and I just finished the episode on shame. I am a couple weeks behind, I know, but I always tell myself I'm going to call in and comment, and I never do. And I apologize if this is a little long-winded, but I have so many thoughts on shame. And I have always thought of myself as pretty confident. I never considered myself being someone who held a lot of shame. And it wasn't until I was in college that I got around people who actually talk about and express their emotions that I was like, oh man, I think I have some issue with shame because it was like I could not express myself the same way that the people around me were just like so open and just like, I'm having a really hard day. Like this morning, I didn't want to get out of bed. Like that's not me. And so I did a lot of research and just reading about this. And so I had some thoughts. Shanti, I think it was Shanti who brought up, I can, with you guys' friend group, you can bring up, I really went through this and, this was hard. Like you can express the things you go through, but not necessarily when you're in the throes of it. And I feel the exact same way. And I kind of boiled it down to, I don't have a problem with being vulnerable about my problems or, what I'm going through. I have a problem with being transparent, which, to me, the difference is transparency is calling a person in the moment, during the breakdown or meltdown or whatever, and saying, right now, this is where I'm at. And that's where my issue is. I can tell someone all day and night, this is what I went through as a kid. This is, how I'm feeling now. But if it's in the moment, I'm not going to probably call until, a couple weeks or a couple days, whatever, however long it takes me to put it in like this nice packaged bow. I'm probably going to get cut off in a minute, but I'm going to call back. I have a few more thoughts.
She gets cut off.
Okay, this is still Imani. I said I was going to get cut off and I kept talking anyway. But anyway, for me, the kind of work that I did in college, I'm only 23, so I'd say when I was in college, like it was many moons ago, but it was not even a year ago. But a lot of the work that I did involving shame, I kind of came to this place of like, feeling like I don't actually have safe places and kind of getting to this point of feeling very stuck. Because I felt like I had a lot of good friends who I could be vulnerable with, but no friends that I could be transparent with. And that is really hard. And I feel like Antoinette kind of talked about going through COVID alone. I was quarantined with my family, which is a whole different set of drama, but I feel like between COVID, America breaking out into a race war, I lost a lot of friends, and it kind of just made that pond that much smaller of like, I don't have these spaces to be transparent about what I feel, or just raw emotion that comes up. And so literally in the middle of quarantine, I started a podcast with one of my friends just because I was like, this is my outlet. Anyway, I just feel like that has become kind of my release, if you will. That's where I can be transparent, because I got to a point where I kind of felt like, if I'm going to be transparent and open and honest and kind of air all this stuff out, I want it to mean something for other people. I want it to help other people. Not that it has to be transactional. And matter of fact, what I'm working on now is what if all that being transparent means is that you're loved, that you're in a space that you're loved, and that's it. Maybe it's not to particularly help anybody else, but what if is that you're loved in that space? And so that's something I've been contemplating. Sorry that this is so long-winded, but I really, truly love you guys. I love the podcast. I think of you guys like my older sisters, and even though we don't have conversations, I feel like this is a space where, shame doesn't exist. So I thank you guys for that. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Money.
I know.
Baby.
I know. When she said she was 23, I said, was I thinking about this at 23?
Word.
Probably not. What were we doing at 23? I think it's, at first I wasn't following. I was like, wait, vulnerability versus transparency. I don't get it. But then when she explained it, I understood.
No, that really, deepened and clarified that for me as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. It's one thing to like be in the throes and somebody to see you in your being out of control in some ways, and then versus like, yeah, man, I was tripping yesterday.
Oh, this is what happened.
Yeah, this is what happened. Versus somebody being like, oh, she is tripping right now. Whoa. No, but I think that I pray for you, Imani, that you find relationships in which you can trust that you're loved, because I hope that you're not putting it on yourself to be like, oh, I need to be more transparent in these relationships. That's one thing, but it's also like, I think you should listen to the parts of you that know you can't be necessarily transparent with people, and you'll know when you can be. And I just wish you that space that okay, I'm deeply loved right now. Like, let me fall apart and be okay in that. So, 23. Go ahead, girl. Oh,
she gonna be all right. Yeah, you have a shout out to a listener on here.
Yes, we had the episode with Erin where, of course, we talked about grooming, and in our DMs on Instagram, somebody was like, "Yo, the actual playbook for grooming and like the normalizing of grooming was Fly Girl," and my head exploded because I was like, "Oh my God, yes, it was." I remember being 12, 13 and reading that book and wanting to be, what was her name?
Tracy.
Tracy was getting dick down by grown men. And I was like, wow, this is great. Like, this is an experience, but what a playbook. Tyree, Omar Tyree. Somebody need to cancel him.
Or counsel him. That's the new thing.
Ciao. Like, good job.
I don't feel like talking about Kanye this week, but I want to shout out the patrons, new patrons, Deidre M. I don't know how to say this sister brother's name. John Sear? You see it? John Sierra. Shout out to J. Dot, the realist. Thank you so much for being a patron. If you would like to join us on Patreon, we had a whole 30-minute rant last week in the middle of our episode that a couple of a lot of folks wrote and were like, yo, this was well worth it, and had some interesting feedback for us. But Shanti and I had an aside, and it didn't make the audio version, but it did make the video, where you can find us on patreon.com/aroundthewaycurls. So yeah, we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we need to talk about the best pussies in the world, why we think we have them, why we might not, and also how toxic masculinity seems to keep the pussy wet. Join us. Take us out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Boop.
What is it?
108, Queen. Oh, God. I have face dysmorphia, body dysmorphia. I gotta get rid of this period because I ain't feeling good.
It's me.
I'm like, you are ugly.
It's the uglies. Don't let them get you down, girl. They were little ugly creeps. They're just like ugly little Antoinettes that pull at you in your ear, just saying, girl. On Sunday, I was so sad. I was like, I'm not
I
going
talked to you
anywhere.
Sunday. Why you ain't talk to me?
Were we talking on Sunday?
Yeah, because you was like, what happened?
Maybe I look better. No,
you weren't better because when I called you,
because I went
you were
and took
deep
a shower. I was
conditioning your
like,
hair.
I was like, I'm just ugly and I need to take a shower. Then I took a shower.
Then you took a shower. You were still ugly.
And I was like, oh.
No, part of it, you're ugly when you don't get enough sleep. When you get some good sleep, you're not as ugly. Oh yeah, hideous, dehydrated.
You be all right when you're 20, but you 30, you try to drink.
That's bloated. The one thing. I did not drink. I had a kombucha. That was my alcohol intake.
Exhausted.
I can't do it.
Mixed with the anxiety and the terror of the week ahead. It was hell. And then just putting.
Do you still feel ugly? I think you look nice. I'm looking ugly.
No, I'm not. I'm fighting it. I'm telling you, I'm fighting the uglies. I'm like, no, not today. I'm really upset with my hair. But that's conversation.
That's what I wanted to. I think I told you that I need to go get my hair cut at a fucking pet grooming place. The way this shit looking. Yes, I did because I did my hair. I did my curls, and I haven't seen my curls in a long time because I just been wearing this raggedy bun. And I did them, and girl, I didn't really do them. I let them air dry. Biggest mistake of my life. I let them air dry after I washed them. So it was just limp. It was just limp strands. And then it was humid. So it was like these limp, just weird, moosey,
Me too.
undry strands just sticking to my face. I say you are ugly. And your hair is ugly.
Your
And you should
hair
just
is
get a
ugly.
relaxer.
Yes. You just cut it all off. You don't know what to do with
No,
it.
I'm not
You
cutting
don't
it
know
all
how to
off.
do it when it's not in curls. So it's not like you can just go get it braided because that doesn't look good either. So
No, you speak for yourself. I love my hair braided.
I'm talking about myself. I ain't
I
talking
was
about
about
you.
to go. I told you what you need to do. You need to get those
No,
braids
I
back,
still
the
don't
Zazie
necessarily feel
braids.
good in those. They don't. I don't think I look good in them either. So
They are your braids, Shanti.
I don't feel that in my spirit. So that's what they're saying. It's not it's not nonsense. Like you don't look ugly right now, but you feel like you feel. It's just like you said. It's face dysmorphia. Ugg is gonna get you. Ugg is gonna get you. Ugg is gonna
Wow,
get you.
I think those braids are your look. I think that's your look. Your look. Interesting. All right. You ready to talk about this?
Let's talk about
What were we talking about though? Is it in here? Okay, go ahead. Let's see what happens.
and
I got it.
and so we are back, and this has been a something that I've noticed in myself. This is something that I noticed in women. Jazmine just came out with her deluxe album. She made a whole song about it. So it really just kind of like put a period on this, or like really an exclamation point rather, of how delusional women are. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's my anthem. That's my song." Like, and I was like, "Bitch, no, you're not well." And I just wanted to touch on all of the many points in which women are delusional. And it's sad and scary. It's not sad, but it offers room to explore, because many of times it's connected to this idea of confidence and validation and like victory and feeling vindicated.
You
And
better search for these V words. Yes, queen.
I just think it's just proof that women are unwell, and we need to talk about it.
What are you talking about?
The fact that women, and all of you listening, have thought this thing. I have thought this thing. You think that you have the best pussy that a man has ever experienced and will ever experience in his life. Jazmine has come out with BPW, Best Pussy in the World. She is singing on it. She is enacting. She is bringing a whole skit to it at her concert. And women are just like, yes, and singing along with it. And I'm like,
half of y'all in here fuck the same dude, so it can't be true. We all share bodies. It can't be true.
Also, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, logistically, it's not possible, number one. And number
Wait, why
two,
do you say that? Why do you say that?
I just think it's just such a subjective thing. It's such an individual thing. Like, you could be thinking you giving this man the work, and he's like, girl, this is just, this
is fine.
Like the 45-year-old woman I just cheated on you with was just given much better than this. And you think you just got this tight, wonderful thing. And this woman has had 7 kids and a hysterectomy, and she's given 10 times better.
First of all, why does she have to have a hysterectomy?
Because I think...
What does a hysterectomy have to do with that?
Because I think women think that, like, one, we have been conditioned to think that the tighter your vagina, which means often we've been thought to think maybe the less partners you've had or less.
What do you think happens with the hysterectomy? That you
I
think
don't
the
know. That was
vagina
just
doesn't
that
have
was
to be
just
tight? What
I
do
was
you
just
think?
saying I was giving a
You think they go in and
visual.
take the canal out too?
I was
Bitch,
given
what's going on?
because the hysterectomy does affect the sexual drive. Sometimes you often have
Oh, the
drier
sexual drive.
vagina.
Oh,
The
okay.
secretions ain't the same when you get that thing yoinked out because nature's like, what's the point? Like for pleasure, get the fuck out of here. For babies. So Antoinette and I were texting about this, and
We
Antoinette was like,
disagree
"No, no,
though.
no. What did you say?" Antoinette's like I am top. You like
I'm in the top.
15%.
I said the top 13 percentile, I would
Not
say.
13, girl. You said 15. You just took it down.
I'm making it higher. I am. I've decided. I'm in top 15. All right, 15, 13 percentile. I've decided.
I do think you. So if every partner,
What percentile are you
I
in?
don't think like I don't think that. I don't think like I'm lying. I had thought that, but
Yes,
it's
you're
like
right.
I know that I'm crazy, and I know it's coming from a place
Me too.
not of necessarily real pride or seduction. Like, have you told your partners that? Have you ever said that to them? Like, yeah, like, have you ever?
The only
like,
reason why I think it is because I'm not somebody. So
said,
to be really clear,
told me. She's like, I ain't had to say it. They
but
told me.
to be very clear,
Wow.
I am not somebody who comes on here like I'm a bad bitch. Like, that's not my style. I love self-deprecation. We just had an aside about how we both feel ugly.
We need to get a case of the ugly.
We got a case of the ugly.
Bad pussy.
So
like
I'm not somebody that comes out and is just, I would not be the person that comes out like, oh no, I'm in the top 13 percentile. Like, that's just not my nature. I'm not somebody that would go up to a man and just be like, oh yeah, like I have the best pussy in the world. I don't think I have the best in the world, not when Lisa Bonet exists. But what I'm saying is the reason why I feel confident, and it could be I was gassed, I don't know. But I have had some interesting feedback that was like, for real?
Girl.
And I was and you know, and I've felt it does feel good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, wow.
If you were doing your, your research, if you were having your groups, what are they? The experiment group. You're doing your scientific method out this motherfucker. You looking at the results. You got your groups.
Yeah.
They're giving you your. Well, maybe that's the thing.
It's research. I did research. Listen, listen. The guy that you tried to hook me up with that crashed and burned felt my vagina with his hand and gave me a hug and a high five. He hugged me and gave me a high five before we ever had sex. He was so happy. He was like, "Oh my God, this is about to be great." And then, child.
What is your list? What do you think are the qualifications? First of all,
I think grip is very
women,
important.
so you can compare yourself to this and be like, "Yeah,
no,
I got all of that. It's definitely me."
I think grip is very important. I do. You don't necessarily have to have a very tight vagina, but you need to be able to grip down on things. I feel in my heart that helps. With some friction, I think that it even helps with your own pleasure.
Word. Yeah, Kegels, let's go.
I think moisture, whether natural is very helpful. It's something that is convenient when it's natural. I think there's ways though to moisten things up, and some of those ways are natural ways, like stop fucking eating edibles and drinking alcohol all goddamn day because it's about to be dry. Tricky. I said the look of it because
so
and everybody has a different preference, but just people are gonna have different preferences for the looks. Some people might want a very meaty fat vagina. Some people might enjoy a very thin one. Some people may enjoy hair, no hair. Maybe inverted. A certain kind of, like, what did you say? Inverted vagina?
Yeah, like inverted lips, where the lips are just kind of like tucked in.
Wait, what?
They're kind of like inverted, like you don't see the lips poking out. It's just kind of like hidden. I guess it's like a fatter vagina, a meatier vagina. Doesn't have the labia hanging out. It's more like tucked in. I can draw it for you.
Draw it, please.
Let me see.
I'm about to Google it, but I also don't want to see it. What else did I write? I'm embarrassed. I said smell. I think smell is important. pH levels are important. Health.
But they ain't telling you pH level and tasting it. Yes, you can.
I said taste. Taste is important, and then I even went as far as to say temperature.
No,
Girl, I cannot see that. Text it to me. Take a
why
picture.
Is that so bright? How do I not make that bright? Yeah, there you go. It's more like hidden. The slit is just the slit versus.
Yeah. Who has a vagina where you see everything right away? The lips don't
No, some people have. Some people.
If you guys are on Patreon.
Some people, this part is all hanging out, whereas this part is covering it up. It's just a little fatter. It's just like a fat, it's like a
little muff.
It's a muff.
It's like a little
muff.
It's giving muff.
It's giving
But I
girl
said
maiden look.
You thought that I was being ridiculous because you were like, people have cold vaginas. I feel like temperature is important. I feel like I have had a conversation with a friend who said that they had sex with someone and her vagina wasn't warm. And I was like, wow.
A living person? Like, I don't even understand.
I don't know. Maybe she wasn't. But if you're sick, then you should be hotter because your body's fighting illness. So I don't know. People have cold hands, cold feet, anything. I don't.
Cold vagina.
But I feel like that might be a thing. But either way, this is also not just for men. This is for you as well. Like I'm really into the health of my vagina. So I'm really into doing my Kegels quite often because I don't want to end up peeing on myself. If I ever have a kid, they say that it makes it easier. Yeah. I have like all kinds of, I have some kind of pussy power wash that's infused with rose quartz and has like a little mint in it.
Women that are really, listen, I notice Black women in particular are obsessed with their vaginas in a way that white women.
It's a part of your body. Why wouldn't you take care of it and nurture it?
Again, I don't know if it's around the idea of taking care of it or it's around this idea of, even as a young girl, like getting the maiden wash or Fresh Eve or Eve's Fresh.
Summer's Eve.
Shit was that fucked your vagina up. But like doing it to make it nice, to make it less like a gaping hole that secretes different mucus.
Well, the reality of the situation
it's like it's a vagina.
Is that the vagina has secretions and you have to take care of your vagina. And douching is not healthy or anything like that, but I believe in maintaining your body. When I got on that album and I said the pussy is ours, I meant it with all my heart and soul. So part of my regimen is that I have a vaginal soak that I enjoy, that tingles and feels nice. Part of it is that I make sure I moisturize my vagina, that I prefer my landscape to look a certain way, and so I make sure that happens. I examine her. I touch my body, and if I am going to be intimate, I want to experience as much pleasure as possible too. And part of that is that I enjoy my partner feeling pleasure. And so, like, yeah, I might hydrate a little more that day. I might eat certain things or not eat certain things. Right. Yeah.
That's a BP. Those are the criteria and the qualifications, as well as the practices of the best pussy.
I don't think by any means I have the best
top
vagina
15%,
in the world.
Bitch. That's like
it's a lot of people in this world. Top 15% of all the women in the world, I would be like 500,000 million down. I don't know. It's a lot of people ahead of me.
I just think.
But there's room for growth.
I think. I guess I like the unassuming. Just the more unassuming way about it.
Oh no! You don't tell anybody that. It's a surprise, a happy surprise.
No, but that's my whole thing. There's women that are saying and thinking that I have.
You can think it, but you don't have to go up to somebody and be like, "Oh, I have the best pussy in the world. I'm about to yada yada yada." No, let it be a happy surprise.
What do you think about a man that gets in your ear and says some flagrant shit about
They're always terrible.
dick. I probably got the biggest dick you ever seen you ever experienced. Like I probably got the biggest and the best dick that you ever.
They're usually terrible.
And I can guarantee. Really, Antoinette? Because really?
You want me to text you today, big blank, who you know as that's how he calls himself, and it couldn't be more lacking.
Oh, because I remember
in
telling
every
you a
area.
different story.
What story are you telling? Are you talking about
somebody telling you that? Yeah, and it's big too. And I'm gonna smack you upside the head with it. You was like, yes. Your drawers was just so good. It was like, oh my god.
No, that was after we had sex. He never said. That was after we were in a full-blown relationship and had sex. He never said that beforehand. He just said that soon enough I would be combing his beard.
Well, you know what? Maybe you are top tier. You are the exception to the rule. I believe it. I don't doubt think it.
What exception? No, don't do that.
But I do
that's not
think
what
that
I'm
majority
saying.
of women, the fact that 100% of us are walking around and have this theory just mathematically
doesn't make sense. But also, shouldn't you feel confident in who you are? Because honestly, what I have is not going to be what somebody else likes. So to somebody, I feel you do have the best in the world. To somebody. And I know a lot of friends who are not with people who they feel that are their best sexual partners. A lot of male friends who are like, no, she's by far not, but I, love her. She's great, but it ain't the best. Honestly, the best is usually some old wild, crazy shit. Or it's really the best and it's like some spiritual connective shit and you're like, wow, I'm here. But there's not that many people that are even connecting spiritually. A lot of people are fucking, which is an aside. But I don't have a problem with women feeling like they have magic going on inside of them. And it's their own personal magic that nobody else has.
I like the fact that Nancy Reagan apparently was putting it down. Nancy Reagan, have you not seen this? This is magic to me.
Shanti.
That apparently Nancy Reagan was given the best head and was apparently internet. This is the type of shit that I hang for. That you find out that Nancy motherfucking Reagan was around here.
What YouTube video did you
knob and providing the best head in Hollywood?
In Hollywood? She was married. What do you mean?
So what? Nancy was out in these streets, slobbing the knob.
What is the source?
Giving the best. This is all on Twitter. You got to go on Twitter.
Girl, I gotta go. Not Twitter.
People were making
Twitter just says stuff, Shanti.
No, I believe that there are statements. Twitter also pulls up the receipts. You got to go look on it. But it was
You're not even on Twitter.
But that's how I still got the news because it was. I'm surprised you didn't hear it because that's how big it was. They were trying, for instance, Madonna. They were trying to vilify Madonna and say like. It was a Republican who was like, Madonna's a whore. She should be more like this woman. And she referenced Nancy Reagan. And that's when Twitter went aflame. It was like, Nancy's a fucking, she got the best pussy in the world. And it's known on these streets that she was slobbing the knob like Superhead.
Obviously, I feel like somebody probably said that just to be an asshole. Like Nancy Reagan goes sucking.
No, man, you gotta go look. You gotta pull up the. Why are you doubting the name? That's the shit I'm talking about. Everybody would think,
I'm not
Madonna's
doubting it. I'm just saying,
like
that's a funny joke. Like, come on.
Madonna's giving the best head, but
I don't think Madonna's giving the best head at all. Her little lips.
She just
jaw ain't even that strong. Fuck out of here, Madonna.
It's just furious, just fast and furious, overzealous, just annoying.
Teeth probably hitting.
It's probably annoying. It's probably like, girl, why are your head moving around like that, flopping around, but you ain't even anyway.
She's giving eye contact though. Do you give eye contact? I don't. I just feel weird. Like
Really?
Sometimes it depends. If I'm in it, and I feel like, and I'm like doing something where I'm like enticing
blinking
you,
over it.
but if I'm look at your face, if I'm just like it's a regular night, I'm giving you head, I gotta really look up. Like, no, that's weird.
Why would you be like, I can't? Don't look at me. Don't see me.
That's not it. It's not it. It's just like sometimes it's just like
you just don't want to make that connection.
No, I don't. He can look at me. I don't necessarily feel like I need to look at him. I need to concentrate. It's a lot happening. I gotta focus.
Like,
so I might not have the best head in the world.
You might, given though that you ain't.
No, I don't think I. Oh no, you gotta focus. You gotta focus.
Man.
So it's a job, but I just looking up too. You want me to look and you want me to do this and look sexy? Then you gotta stand up. That's the only way that works if you're standing. But if you're laying down, I can't do that. It just feels
because you gotta stop and then you just stop.
Stupid. It's just look at you.
You just like
you should. I dare you to do it. I don't have any partner, but I dare you to do it.
Blink.
And just get up and just look at him and be
wink
like,
at him.
No, and just smile like, and then go back down.
I would love to do that actually.
Please do it. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what you say. You might be like, yo, keep doing it. Keep looking at me, yo.
And then
just start slapping your chin.
Just smile at him until he does something.
Like, no, I've seen. Never mind. This is oh God. I was gonna say he can take it and do stuff with it while you're looking at him, but like, see, listen, that's what I'm saying. Like,
pro PRO.
Gotta go. I'm getting off. I'm embarrassed.
Giving pro tips.
No, I'm not.
You can actually see the examples. Get on.
Stop playing with me.
But
next, and leave that Nancy. Is Nancy Reagan even alive?
No,
don't talk about that lady.
It ain't not, that I believe it, and I know that she probably got that. She probably that's the unassuming thing.
Wait, I need to Google it.
That's the unassuming thing that I think is the is exciting. You ain't got
just to say no.
It ain't got to be your fucking anthem. Get the fuck out of here. Raheem was not impressed with you, girl.
Next.
Get out of here. And that's okay. Are you looking at it?
I'm not looking at. I just pulled up a picture of her and was like, "This is wrong."
The internet was googling. Does Nancy Reagan?
I never googled head? That. And if she did have the best head, I would Google what was Nancy Reagan doing, because I need to learn. Thank you. But also, the best head is subjective. So many men want everything. So many men want different kinds of head. It's tricky. You can't. It's the same with women. Like you can't go in with the same tricks. You gotta pay attention to their responses. I think the best thing to do, and I've said this before, is to watch a man please himself. You see what he likes. You see where he's touching, what he's focusing on. You help him through that, and then I think you ask, or you say, "Tell me what you want." And then and then there's always you explore more things, but you got the basis of like, okay, Anyway, it's boasting from a place of wanting to get chose. Not for everybody, or a place of really sexual desire and knowledge. It depends.
First of all, forget the best pussy. This is another. I think this is the closer thing. Women, after every relationship, in your mind, think nobody's gonna love him like I love him.
We already talked about this.
He ain't gonna find nobody like me. And that's also a delusional thought, because he's much happier in his new relationship with a white girl now. Like, this is wrong. Why do you have to think
with you?
Why? That's my thing. Why do we have to even? Why can't we let it go? Wash our hands of it. Wish him well. Why do we always have to have? And I'm guilty of it too. And I know it's from a place. It's not from a healthy place. It's from a place that I think is centered in that you want to be vindicated. And It's from that same weird place of being chose. Like, he missed out on me. He didn't choose me, and he's going to lose out because he didn't choose me. Versus like, why? Maybe the man made the right decision for
Because
himself,
your
and he
ego
found
is
somebody
hurt.
else.
Your ego is, folks' egos are hurt in the moment. And that's what you have to tell you. That's what a lot of people have to tell themselves. A
Well,
lot.
ladies,
But again, if
you gotta
somebody
let that
telling
go.
you that, then you know. See, I'm crazy. Don't get me started back here, please.
But that doesn't make any sense. Then why? I just think I think it's a dangerous. That's a dangerous thing to think versus being like, all right.
And you can really feel, I think that you can really feel like no one's going to offer what you offer, because nobody will offer what you offer. You're the only you, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the best thing for that person.
But I think that's what we do, and that's.
Of course we do. But
That's
again, it's ego.
delusional.
You're hurt. You're trying to lick your
Well,
wounds, and you
we
say
need to
shit
be-
like that.
We be gassing each other up and supporting each other, and that's how we like. I guess it's needed, but also just know in the back of your head, like, that's
Yo, let me
insane.
tell you something. The next breakup I have, if I have another breakup, you better tell me that
Girl,
you better not be
that-
like, girl, I'm sorry he left you, but he's happier. You weren't it. Your pussy wasn't it. Your love wasn't it, and your head is not as good as Nancy Reagan's.
you wasn't making that eye contact.
You weren't making the eye contact he needed, and it wasn't enough vagina washes to get him going. If you, I don't want to hear that from my friend. I want to hear, girl, you are incredible. You are this, you are that. You don't have to tell me I was the best, but like, you're going to find somebody that da-da-da-da-da. Everything happens for a reason. Of course you're going to say that to your friends. Don't let you go through a breakup. I'm like, that's because your pussy is trash. Watch. I'm sorry.
That's not. Why does it even have to be that? It just may not be the best that he is experienced. He may.
All right, I'll reword it. That's because to him, your pussy was trash. Nobody wants to hear that.
And I would just be like, it's possible.
No, you wouldn't.
It's possible that I'm not the person. It's statistically possible that it didn't work out, that we didn't have the best sexual chemistry, nor our relationship. But he's probably.
But here's my question: do you have to have the best in order to be the best in the relationship together? No. I really believe that you don't have to. Why we gotta say these things
in the first place? That's what I'm saying. That's just delusional.
No, it's not. No. You saying it is not delusional. Everybody has to this point in their life, everybody knows who they had the best sex with. You know who you had the best sex with. I know who I had the best sex with. Other people don't need to know, but you know in your heart. So I'm saying, if you happen to be in a relationship with a partner who was not your best sex, it doesn't mean that that's not the best person for you. So even this whole best sex, best vagina, best head, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So that's just like
it just can't be trash.
Exactly.
As long as you in the 50th percentile, bitch, you out here.
But you might be somebody's trash. I'm not saying you specifically, but you might. Yes, it's possible.
Listen, that's the way
we don't ever
works.
think that. We never consider that because it consoles us in a way, and that's just.
We don't have to think it. Moving right along. Oh, you said who got the good? Lisa Bonet. I'm staying by that. Lisa Bonet, Erykah Badu. Megan who? The Stallion? No.
I think Megan is far. Well, no, I think she really does. I think Megan.
No.
Gives the idea and the desire that she has the best pussy, and then she delivers like a motherfucker. Whereas maybe like.
I would want to have sex
maybe like Beyonce, you had the desire and the expectation, but maybe she ain't giving what she's not delivering in the way that Erykah is.
I think it depends on the different kind of sex you want, right? This goes back to, what was it? That's your sexual blueprint. I am trying to have sex with Lisa Bonet. I am trying to have sex with Erykah Badu. I'm trying to have sex with Nia Long. I'm trying to have sensual, energetic sex. If I had a penis, probably wouldn't want nobody bouncing up on my penis like that, but maybe once or twice. And then I'm like, all right, this is cool, but like, I don't feel connected to you. Like, it's a spectacle and it's cool. But like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's somebody's that's somebody's, like, Megan is somebody's absolute, like, wow, that would be incredible. Whereas for me, I'm like, I'm good, love.
Again, that's why it's too subjective to even make these claims. But unless you're Erykah Badu or Lisa,
And unless
Bonet,
they told you.
or Rihanna, or unless that one nigga told you.
Unless he told you, like, yo, just so you know.
Unless that one nigga told you.
It's my best. Anyway, you also said something else about men.
Another thing that's the most delusional thing is that as much as we have sat here and talked about wanting to be respected and protected and have deep, energetic, emotional sex, we really just want a little bit of toxic masculinity in the relationship to get the pussy. But you want a nigga to tell you to bend over. You want a nigga to tell you to bend over. You want a nigga to, like,
is that toxic?
Arch your back and bend you over. In comparison to somebody that's like,
do I have consent?
Asking
to? No, there's a way you can ask. Like, very sexy. I believe it. There's a way to ask.
Nah, you want a nigga that's like a little rough.
Don't say nah.
A little belligerent. Belligerent.
All right,
a little belligerence. You want a little toxicity. You want a little bit of, like, yo, this nigga is wilding, and that wasn't right, but that was also super exciting.
Like what? Give me an example,
do it again.
Queen.
I don't know, child.
Don't clam up now.
I told you.
That's like, pretty basic. Bend over. Give us something else, Queen. Well, yo, come here. Yo, come here gets me.
Yo, come here. No, I don't like
yo,
that.
Come here. Or come here. Or just come
here.
Your
man or some random nigga on the street?
No, from your man.
Oh.
No, all of this is from your man. We already have to have a level of understanding that you have access to me in a certain way. Yo, come here on the street is a hell no. Die. But your man sitting there and he just, come here. What? Okay. Like, I'm hyped. Okay. Are you kidding? Yeah. But I don't think that's toxic. But I do think that there's a level of raggedy.
We were talking about that. We said that was toxic. That we were like, what the fuck?
I just think it's a level of raggedy. You don't want nobody like he, me, had me, he in your ear all the time.
It's a little assertive. It's very assertive.
Very assertive. Very confident. Mm-hmm.
You want a nigga to be like, yeah, let me pull your panties to the side.
After all that talk.
After all that shit we talk. And the nigga we out and this nigga's like, yo, pull your panties to the side. I'm gonna be like, oh my God.
If somebody even tried to pull my panties to the side, it would be such a handful of panties because I wear the biggest panties.
The fact that he would just wrestle with it too is just, yo, take those fucking really panties off, yo. Take them off. A nigga that, if your man tell you to pull your panties to the side and y'all out somewhere,
child, they're off. They're to the side.
Child.
That's what I'm saying. It's tricky because I need you to understand that the pussy is mine, but I also need you to act like it's yours.
So. And women need to be honest about that. We saying all the feminists. Bell Hooks probably was like, "Oh my God, this nigga just told me."
Like, choke me. What? Bell Hooks was definitely getting choked.
Did you say Bell Hooks?
Because you said Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks was definitely getting choked, and she was definitely choking
Bell
people.
Hooks was. Oh my God, we're so bad.
I know we got a lot of. Yeah,
that was too far.
But even if she was getting choked. If that's what she liked, that's her agency. That's what she liked. All right.
It's hard out, men. I feel sorry for you because it's tricky. But let me tell you something. Some well done toxic masculinity gets the pussy wet.
It's not toxic though. It's not really. It's just assertive. It's just. I think that we're towing the line here of like toxic man. Everything is being called toxic. I hate that fucking phrase at this point. Everything's toxic. Everything's this. And it's like, oh, or like this dude just needs to be, or you just need to establish, you need to understand who you're dealing with and what your relationship is before you do certain things. I think that 9 times out of 10, unless it's just egregious, not 9 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10. But like a lot of things are absolutely can be sexy and can be can be exciting. But I'm dead ass. If you guys are like play fighting, right? And your man and y'all wrestling or something, like just silly shit. You know, you just play around. And what?
I said, what are you about to say?
And he said some shit like, yo, shut the fuck up and turn over. I'm not mad at that. Now, if it's somebody who I don't, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a time and a place. Like, you have to know what your relationship is. You have to establish the relationship. And I think and you can't just assume it's okay from jump. Like, at the end of the day, it is vibrations. It is energetic. And that sounds foo, but like, you got to be on the right vibration to know when you can say, oh, shut the fuck up and take your panties off.
Take less pay than me, bitch.
I'm like, you have to know when you can say that. And you also have to know when you can, when that's not the time for that. But like, I respond to both when it's done right.
I respond to both.
I respond to both,
two
baby.
things can exist at the same time.
Right.
Like, and that's
but it can't be one all the time. I think that's what we're saying is that, you know, you can have that energetic, like, I just take a breath with me. And yeah, that's great. But sometimes I definitely need you to tell me to like, or not say anything at all. Some of the best sex I ever had was when I was woken up to being turned over with my face in the pillow. And it was like, great. What a great way to start the day. But we also had that established of like, no, I'm not uncomfortable. No, I don't feel like you're just using me in the morning for your own pleasure and I'm a vessel and not a being. No, I didn't feel like that. I feel like, oh shit, you about to send me off to work. Right. Thank you. It's all about the communication. It's all about the vibes, baby.
Sometimes consent isn't.
No, there's always an underlying consent, Shanti. Don't y'all do not listen to her. Sometimes consent is always a thing. But sometimes it's just...
No, I don't mean like you're gonna... But you know, like, yes, the look you in your eyes.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a look.
Your face, like... Don't talk to me. But, well, you know.
Another episode. I don't know if we got anything established here. Outside of get the grip right. Make sure it smells right.
Even if you get the grip right, it tastes great.
It still might not
be it was the best. It may not be the best in the world, and that's okay. Like, but there's no need. The whole idea that that's what, I don't know. It just takes. I personally don't get it because it's just too subjective of a thing.
Of course.
It just
the point of it though is for you to feel that way about it, for you to be so confident and I guess in tune and in relationship with your vagina that you're like, this is incredible. And you know what? The more and more that you feel that it's the best, I think the more and more somebody else will.
That's it.
And the best for you. Does it make you feel good?
Feeling? Yes.
Right. Does it take care of you?
I have been having the best orgasms of my life.
I'm so happy for you. Really?
No, I'm giving a thing, but I'm giving an example. I am having the most pleasure that I've ever had in my life. This vagina I got the best pussy in the world. Regardless of what Raheem said or Terrence.
Why is his name Raheem?
That nigga from college that was like, oh my God, your vagina's so wet. Bitch, tell her, that's another thing, nigga. If you toxic, then tell that bitch she got the wettest pussy in the world and you get whatever you want. That's the toxic shit. Just tell her that it's the tightest, wettest shit in the world and watch her freak out.
It will elevate things.
It will.
The same way a man would love to hear. Everybody loves words of affirmation when it comes to how they make their partner feel. Everybody loves that. Of course. But don't lie. Don't lie and say something is what it is when it ain't.
Ladies, if your vagina is tacky,
No, I mean,
a bit tacky,
what do you mean by that?
concerned, you may just be you may not be ovulating. You may actually be in the cycle where your secretions are a bit dry, and that's natural. So
Let me find out
feel
you
some
have a
kind
dry
of way.
vagina. I'm concerned.
Don't feel some type of way. After you have your period, often it's a drier thing and it's building up. So give it a couple more days. That thing gonna be slick, girl. Oh, wipe that
Give
tissue
us an
paper.
affirmation. Give us the best pussy in the world affirmation.
You
Come on.
don't have the best pussy in the world. That nigga is enjoying somebody else, but still you can enjoy yourself. Still, you can have a tight grip on reality versus thinking that you have a tight grip on a nigga, because the niggas don't matter. What's important is how tight your grip is on reality, your finances.
End it.
And your motherfucking sense of self. So don't worry about having the best pussy in the world and work on your credit scores, queen. So
You know what we need to do? We need to have this conversation with a bunch of lesbians, and then we really gonna know what the best pussy in the world is, because we have no idea. Because we not even out here experiencing it. For real, for real. I've been sitting here thinking the whole time, like, this is all for male.
Just
Well, it's for our pleasure as well, but until you really look at a vagina.
They knew exactly what I was talking about when I put that thing up. They said, I know that kind of little puffy muff.
I'm saying, I would love to know what the best vagina in the world is to women who have sex with women.
I think it's a big clitoris. Because when I watch the porns with the women, that thing be coming out. And I said, what is that?
I know you're not citing porn as your source. I don't know. I don't know about you, Shanti. All I know is you better look up at Rashid later, like giving them eyes, and then go a little wink.
It's the wink for me.
You better wink at him.
Yeah, he better applaud or something. He better be like, woo! He's like, yes, girl.
What would he do? He's so kind. He probably wouldn't even say nothing. He probably just let you rock. Like, I wish this bitch would stop winking at me. Girl, how much noise are you gonna make with that mic?
Oh, that was at
we gotta go. I'm upset. Get the right headphones. This is the end of that.
All right, well, keep a tight grip on your credit score, y'all. That's
keep a tight grip on reality.
To keep a tight grip on them credit scores and them edges. Not your edges, girl. Not your edges.
I think the main thing from that song that I think is important is talk the shit that make me want to back it up. It's the affirmations. It might, listen, you might get a different vagina out of somebody if you just if you just focus on the things that are great about what you're feeling. You don't have to lie, but you look for the goodness and you celebrate that. And more goodness will come, I'm sure. See what I did there? All right. What an episode. You're loved. Okay.
You're loved as well. God is good.
All right.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Are we done? And we're out. That
was longer than I thought it was going to be.
I know.
So we had 1 hour. We're nearly done. And let me send this to
So wait, let's go over this. Because you did an affirmation, so he needs to put the music under there. Feel me?
You'll be like, that was an affirmation?
I don't care what he said.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Did you put the time down?
1:50, music under affirmation when it starts. Do you have the best pussy in the world?
What?
I can't imagine you even. Can I tell you something? I can't imagine you having sex. I can't imagine any of y'all having. In all honesty, like when Jazmine sings that, I'm like, she has sex. That's disgusting. I can't imagine it.
You are a sexual being and capable.
You can imagine me having sex. I could never.
No, I don't really imagine myself. Who do I imagine having sex? Just
celebrities. Just
celebrities.
Who do you imagine having sex? Celebrity. Who's your sex like a celebrity?
I think I could imagine Rihanna having sex. I could imagine Erykah Badu. It's a bit of a caricature. It's a bit of a it's a bit of a skit, but I can imagine her.
What you think she doing?
Enjoying herself. She probably limber as fuck.
I can't see it. I can't see anybody. You know what?
The way that she is smitten over this man.
That young dreadlock with a 9-inch. Skinny with a 9-inch.
That is just really interesting.
They got their little plastic rings they wearing and everything. I said, wow.
She is smitten. She don't be repping the men like the way she repping him.
She don't.
I said, wow, they're having some transcendental sex. Or some just hood shit. She probably tired of the transcendental sex. He probably just...
He's slapping her in the face with his dick right now.
Naked. Pulling her weave off. Just...
Who can I imagine having sex?
Can you imagine Jay-Z and Beyonce having sex?
Hell no. Hell no. I feel
like Jay-Z's probably a good lover, actually.
No, I think he is. But I can't imagine them. Look at, like, what's going on here? Ugly.
What's your nose, Queen?
I can't imagine Rihanna either.
You can't?
Only Lisa Bonet. I'm gay for Lisa Bonet.
What do you imagine her doing? Like a skittish thing? Like
I can see. No, I can't. I can't see anybody what their body's doing, but I can see her face.
What's the face?
I gotta go. I can see her face while she's enjoying herself. You know what I can do though? I can imagine myself having sex with people a lot. That I have no problem with. Like if there's somebody that I'm fiending for, when I tell you I can go to sleep and be
going to sleep, breaking it down from the moment, right?
From the moment when it first started, and I can see I can dream the entire, like I can make it my business to be like, this is going to be my dream tonight. And then it really feels like it happened. And I got to look at that person like, did I have sex with you? No, that was my dream. Sorry. I'm serious. I really can meditate on that.
You know what? And everybody has sex. Isn't that interesting? Like your mom and let me be quiet. But mom,
I will vomit.
You can imagine my mom though.
I cannot.
You can't.
No, that's disgusting. No. Why would you? I know. I'm very clear. Your mom is a sexual being.
She is.
She needs to come over here and talk to us about how to have multiple orgasms.
That is
I can't believe you've never talked to her about that. That bitch said, I was sick of it. Too many. I was in that kitchen like, what? She's like, it's just too many. It's boring after a while. You just over and over. I was like,
I can't believe we're saying this. Oh, God, forgive me.
That was incredible. That's an incredible woman.
We needed her consent for that, and we did not get it, and I apologize.
What? Yo, she needs to teach a class, because I go. That ass. I'll be like, yo, Bad Barbs, teach me. Because I don't know what's going on.
Meghan Markle, Meghan?
I can imagine that Prince Harry, though. That little ginger. I can imagine him or whatever.
Interesting.
I can definitely imagine. I've dreamt Jonathan Majors quite a few times.
Wow.
But we also saw him, we saw him in action. We kind of take a deep breath, Queen. Yay. More breath. The breath.
Yeah.
I can imagine that ride. I can feel his rhythm. Oh, I sounded like Jill. I can feel his rhythm in my thoughts.
That back, that body, them lips, that face, child. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. He takes an air too when he's doing his thing. His mouth is open. Ooh.
Oh, I would love to.
And his hands.
But I wouldn't want, if I had an opportunity to do it with him, I would definitely take it. But I would want like a year of consistent, because the first time to the December 31st, baby. Wow, I would want a lifetime with him because that chick changed.
What a lifetime. I want a lifetime with you, my guy. This ain't enough. I actually think Allen Iverson's sex probably terrible.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't tell him
he's just
that.
not giving the.
I think he's lazy.
What about Dwayne Wade? I feel like that's a man willing to change. He's willing. I think he evolves.
Yeah, I think so.
That's an evolving sex life.
I don't think about him though. I think Jason Momoa just picking people up and just being so soft and caring. But he's so big. Great. He's so big to be that. No, he's just so big. I'll be like,
he's setting the scene. He's setting the scene.
And his hair is falling on you and tickling your skin while you do it. Child.
Not the hair.
I'm telling you, it is.
I ever thought of, but now I see it. You're just looking through his hair.
I still have not had sex with anybody with long hair. But from what I heard, like dreadlock dudes, how when their hair like accidentally is like grazing your skin. Ooh, don't play with me.
I've never been with a man with locks.
A new goal. You know? No, not your style. You're like, not too hotepy. I don't know, girl. You know who I'm dreaming about.
From beginning to end, huh? Just the.
I got it played.
The end.
It's the. Ooh. You know what it is? It's the face. I don't even be seeing their bodies. I see their faces and hear them.
Do you look at faces? Is that like a thing for you to stare at the faces?
Not to stare. You're ignorant. No, that if I'm on top, yeah. If I'm in control, absolutely. I'm looking dead at you. I'm looking dead at you and asking you to open your mouth so I can hear you. Like my hand is in your mouth. Like open your mouth.
Oh.
Because a lot of times no. I'm saying a lot of times men will bite they'll hold it in, and I'll like open your mouth. But I'm looking dead at you. I need to see how you feel.
I wish you that experience, child. I wish you that come true, child. Just one little, oh man.
I don't want one.
I know you need at least 5 months. Like that's what I'm saying. You need a year. You need a year because it's just not the same.
You saw the other one I sent you, where I was like, you know what? Stop it! Oh my goodness! On my couch. How would you do that? You heard her? No. Just tearing the side of that couch up right there. You never do that. Not on the couch. You saw the other one I sent you? That's a handsome man.
Maybe, girl.
You know what I'm talking about? I texted to you.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said, that is a handsome.
Yeah. But...
Ooh, but I'm sometimes with him, but
still, the way of being.
No, it would irritate. Yeah,
it would. I don't think it would. It would translate for you.
I don't know, but
maybe it would. Because you never know.
I will say when he's done up, dressed like that, he has a whole other confidence to him. It's like wow, incredibly attractive. Like he knows he look good. He's sitting back. But he's also like all his attention is focused on you. I said, my God.
But with sex, you just don't know. People change. People turn into Nancy motherfucking Reagan.
I gotta go. Stop.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
not Nancy Reagan is the throat goat. You getting on my nerves. I gotta go. That's rude.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't know. You don't know until you do it. You just don't know until you know. And sometimes you just gotta know.
I just look ugly.
No, you don't, Antoinette.
My face looks so wide.
No.
And I think my nose.
Having face dysmorphia.
It has a bump thing here. I got a bump thing here. I just look ugly.
You're giving fate. Don't let them get you, Antoinette.
I have penguin hands. My hands are like penguin. My hands are like the penguin. I know it. I saw Batman and was like, that's my motherfucking hands, yo. And you laughing now, right? Because you know it's true, and I'm hurt.
I've always told you about your hands. They always just be like
flippers.
She just be sitting there like,
they're flippers.
Come here. I love them.
Oh,
I love them. That's one of the most endearing things about you. Your hands.
All right. Yo, we still need to talk.
About what?
About when we're going to do this recording and the bills.
All right, we'll turn that off real quick.
We don't need to talk about it right now. I'm going to sleep.
Good.
I'm not dealing with it.
I can't go to sleep. Are you able to go to sleep after the podcast?
No, it takes me a good minute.
I'll be revved up. I'll be in the bed like.
I'm gonna meditate on this person that I just want to become one with.
Make your spells, girl. Just do it.
I'm hanging this up real fast. I'm gonna stop recording because I got to tell you something. Bye, y'all. Thank you for we haven't done this in a while. Since we look ugly, let's just be ugly together. Look at that thing on my nut.
What thing?
You see it? It's a pimple coming in. You don't see that red?
Because you touched it, but you can't have people see what you really look like, child. Don't be running out here looking like yourselves, y'all. Don't do it. Highly